So, today, let's talk about dating. Women keep getting told we're asking too much, that our standards are too high, that we should just settle down already. But wait, wanting respect, effort, and honesty, that's too much? Or is the bar just way too low? And honestly, a lot of us are fine with being single. We don't see it as a failure, we see it as freedom. And we'd rather wait for someone we actually really fit with than to settle just to say we have someone. What's wild is how often men try to tell us what we want. They'll say, women just want a 6-foot tall man with money. But that's not what we're saying. We spell out exactly what we want. Kindness, respect, emotional maturity. Someone who actually shows up. And somehow it still gets ignored. It's like they're not even listening. And here's the line I keep coming back to. Maybe it's not that women are asking too much. It's that society is asking women to accept too little, to lower our standards, to compromise our values, and to trade peace for companionship. And that is not empowerment, that is settling. The truth is, wanting the basics of a healthy relationship isn't outrageous. It's not a checklist of height and salary. It's about connection, trust, and shared values. Yet, when women ask for those things, we get labeled as demanding. Meanwhile, choosing to stay single gets treated like a problem instead of a choice. And here's a perspective shift. Being single doesn't mean lonely. It can mean independence, creativity, freedom, and space to grow into who you are meant to be. And when you do meet someone, it's not because you settled, but because they were able to meet you where you are. So no, women aren't asking too much. We're asking for what's real. And if society can't handle that, maybe it's time society raises its standards too. What I think gets really misconstrued is the idea that because we're single, we don't want relationships. That we're these huge feminist man-haters who've sworn off dating forever. And as we know, that is not the truth. The reality is most of us would love to be in a relationship. It's just that right now, being with someone would mean settling on something huge. And we're not willing to do that. What men and society often miss is that women today can make our own money. We can chase our dreams, travel, build careers, and create lives that we're proud of. We have amazing friends and who give us the emotional support, and we're not willing to give all of that up for a relationship that doesn't add value. So when people say we're asking too much, what they don't understand is we already have so much. We're not going to trade it away for far less than we deserve. So let me tell you about this guy I went out with a few times. I'm sure most of you have stories similar to this, but I'd actually met him a few years before. And from the start, he acted really interested. Facebook friending me, talking to my neighbor, his brother, about me, calling me, making plans to hang out. So when we finally went on a few dates, I thought, okay, maybe there's something here. And then on one of those early dates, of course, right when I was starting to catch feelings, he starts talking about his ex, which wasn't the problem. He was saying how she broke his heart, how she was the only woman he's ever loved, on and on. So I simply asked, wow, how long ago did you break up? And he says, just a few months ago, at this point, like 2 or 3 months before, after being together for 6 years. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a second. So all of those times you were acting interested in me and calling, texting me, you were actually with the so-called love of your life? When I brought this up, he tried to gaslight me, told me I misunderstood, I took things out of context, tried to just flip it all back on me. But here's the thing that he obviously didn't remember. I was on the phone during that conversation. I know what was said and how it was said. And that moment told me everything I needed to know. Because here's the bigger picture. This isn't about just one guy. It's about a pattern. Women get blamed, guilted, gaslit, told we're asking too much, when really we're just asking for honesty and consistency. And that's when you start to notice the contradictions everywhere in dating culture. For instance, men say they want traditional women, whatever that means, modest, wholesome, family-oriented. But then you look on their social media and it's bikini models and OnlyFans creators. So, which is it? Then there's the whole act like my mom expectations. Cook, clean, nurture, take care of me. But when it comes to them stepping up like our dads did, providing stability, showing responsibility, being consistent, that part somehow gets completely skipped. And let's not forget the money narrative. Men complain that women only want them for their money. But here's the reality. If you're not bringing emotional maturity, respect, or partnership to the table, then yeah, money becomes the only thing left. And that's not what women are asking for. We're asking for connection, honesty, and consistency. Basics, not a bank account. The truth is, we don't have to settle. We don't have to shrink ourselves to fit into someone else's idea of what we should want. Because being single isn't a failure, it's freedom. And when the right person shows up, it won't be because we lowered our standards. It'll be because they actually met us where we are. Thanks for listening to The Truth Unmasked. If this episode hit home for you, share it with a friend who might need the reminder. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's conversation. We're breaking down the biggest double standards, what men say they want versus what they actually do. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And thank you so much. I will see you next time.